Welcome to the channel, guys. Thank you for being here. We're going to talk about Soul Resonance and just, my general thoughts on the game. Without wasting any time, let's jump in. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole thing. So, one thing I really love that I've been seeing on Twitter and on YouTube about Bleach Soul Resonance are the visuals. I feel like the developers, they're really bringing this game, the Soul Society, this world to life. I feel like a lot of times you don't get to do that when it comes to the Bleach games. Now, I won't sit here and pretend like I've played any other Bleach games. I've only played Bleach Rebirth of Souls and I've played Bleach Brave Souls. Those are the only two, and I know that there was a PS3 one years ago, but that's something that I've never played, so I won't really speak on it. But this game, I feel like the clips that I've seen, you're going to be able to interact with the world and the characters of this game. That's one thing that makes this game feel so alive and that makes you want to come back for more. You see how beautiful it is and you just want to explore it more because it's something that we've never really got to do before in a Bleach game. So I really enjoy the visuals. I love how everything looks. And the character art that they drop, like, that we get on Twitter here and there, it is fantastic. Like, this is all supposed to be in a Thousand Year Blood War art style from the anime. So everything just looks so fresh, especially when you compare it to the OG Bleach and how that looked compared to the things we're getting now. I just really love it. And I can't wait to see more because the anime would benefit from getting a remake in the Thousand Year Blood War style. But on to the next thing. One thing I've seen in this game, and one thing that I think we can all agree on, are mini games make you feel like you're in the actual world. When I was younger, there were mini games inside of a game. Naruto Ultimate Ninja, and then I believe the other one was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Infinite World. They had these little mini games where you were able to run on Snake Way, you were able to train with like Vegeta and Trunks, Gohan and Goku, and it just really felt like, man, I'm actually here. There's a reason why we love these games and this world so much. One of the reasons why we loved it was the fact that we saw them do things that were just so different. Seeing Goku run on that snake and really seeing how much he has to do in order to get back to the battle in the Saiyan saga, that to me, it was so motivational. It was so cool to see. Naruto Ultimate Ninja, they did the same thing. There was this thing where you were able to jump on the trees. That was one big thing that I'm pretty sure we could all wish we could do in real life, like jump from tree to tree like this in the how they do it in the anime. And the game, the fact that they allowed you to do this, it really made me feel like, dang, this is peak gaming. I remember multiple times I would just turn on the game to do this mini game. I'm not even joking with you because I love how it felt and I love how, just interactive it was. I feel like video games they don't have that anymore. And one of the reasons that made you feel this way, it was because I think they love the game, So Bleach Soul Resonance, before I, keep going off on that tangent of Naruto Storm, but Bleach Soul Resonance, they have this mini game of you doing keto target practice. You're inside of the Shinigami Academy and you're shooting at these targets with the keto shakaho. It's so basic and, it's a small clip, but to me, that means so much. Like, the fact that I'm able to do this, it makes me feel like I'm actually using keto in the game, and I think it's really cool. I think a lot of games, they need that type of stuff, It gives the game personality, and I think Soul Resonance, they really did good on that. I don't have the clip of it, but there's a scene on Twitter where it's like a nighttime situation in Bleach Soul Resonance, and you're able to run around, but you have to do it in a stealthy way to not get caught by the guards. And then if you get caught, you have to fight them. And I really think that's cool. I think it brings the game to life once again. Like, I've never gotten a chance to experience a Bleach game like that. And you know what it reminds me of? It's that moment in the manga where Orihime and Uryu are sneaking around the Serete, and they're trying not to get caught by the guards and the other Soul Reapers. So Orihime comes up with a plan to steal the uniform off of a Soul Reaper. They hide in a bush, she jumps out, and she takes him out with hand-to-hand combat. This little thing in the game kind of mirrors that, and I think that that's where I feel that the developers paid attention to the manga, where they paid attention to the anime. They're really trying to make this game feel like you're there in the Serete trying to rescue Rukia. And I really love that. So I hope they keep going this route because I think this is how you get people to pay attention to the game, to make them feel like this was worth my time and this was something that I won't forget. Another thing that I absolutely adore about this game is that it seems that there's a mini game where you're able to cook with Orihime. We all know that Orihime's cooking is a little different than the average, cooking. She tends to put together foods and items, but yet you never hear anyone say that it tastes bad. You just see them say that, oh, that's kind of weird. But when they have it, like Rangiku, she's like, oh, wow, like I really like this. And the fact that we're able to cook with Orihime and it's so simple, but it creates personality for the game, and I absolutely love that. And as someone that absolutely, adores Orihime as she's my favorite Bleach, woman character, I am so glad we get something like this. Not to mention, we're able to fight as Orihime in, I guess, in the story mode or just like, in moments. I freaking love that. That is one reason and one knock that I will give to Rebirth of Souls. For some reason, you cannot play as Orihime. Now, I believe there's an interview where they said that they don't know how to make a move set for her. There's been Bleach Brave Souls, there's Soul Resonance, and there's other old Bleach games that she's been in that you could definitely create a move set from. Like, I don't know why they said that. That's very silly if we're being honest. But that's one thing that, Soul Resonance did properly. They said, you know what? You could use all these characters that you know and love. You love to see it. And last on this list of things that Soul Resonance that I just love that they're doing are the cutscenes. The cutscenes are top notch. Now, I've seen some cutscenes that are a little, iffy, but I think that's only due to the expressions on their face. At times, it feels like their face, like Ichigo, for example, there's times where it feels like his face never changes in these cutscenes. And I think that's one thing that they need to fix. And once they fix this, the cutscenes will just be so fun, to watch. So I'm really hoping that the developers improve on some of the expressions for the characters. I think that's one thing this game could do better on. Now, there's other things about Soul Resonance that I don't really know too much about. But I've seen some pictures of it was like this Orihime and Rukia picture. It looked like they were gonna fight each other, which is pretty crazy. Maybe in this game you're able to do verses. I'm just saying, if they did this game, to me, this game has a lot of things that make you like, you know what, I want to play this. I want to see what this is about. They just need to make it global. I know a lot of people would want this to be like console and not just mobile. So I do think that this will be mobile, similar to how Brave Souls. It started out as mobile and then it came to console. I think this would be a great move for them to do because this seems like something that you would want to use with a controller rather than, your phone or whatever. Yeah, I would love for this to be a console game. Now, I know there's Bleach Mirrors High or something like that, or Bleach Mirrors. We don't know if that's a console game or not, but I was more on the fence of Bleach Soul Resonance, but they're changing the name. I don't know if that's the case. I highly doubt that. If you guys have any more information on Bleach Mirrors, let me know in the comments. But other than that, those are all the things I wanted to talk about. This game looks really fun. It looks like they really took their time and they really tried to make this game different than the other Bleach games we've had in the past. And I can't wait to experience this. I'm very curious to see how far this game goes, but in due time, we'll figure that out. But thank you for watching this video, guys. And I'm going to start promoting my Discord account. In November, I'm actually going to Japan and I will be creating a vlog about it. I won't be posting it to YouTube, but only to my Discord. So if you would like to see that little journey of me being in Japan for a week, then go ahead and click the link in the description for my Discord. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I can't wait to, have you guys see more of just my content and my personality. And just, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Jana.